Okay, so if you've been keeping an eye on tech news, you've seen OpenAI's name pop up a lot. There's a new chip deal here, a weird company acquisition there, a brand new tool for developers, and honestly, on their own, these headlines can feel pretty disconnected, right? But what if they're not random at all? What if every single move is a puzzle piece? Well, today, we're going to put those pieces together and see the massive picture they're actually building. So that's the big question, isn't it? What is OpenAI really building? Because when you start to connect these dots, it becomes super clear they're aiming for something way, way bigger than just a better chatbot. A much grander vision is starting to take shape. Yeah, they're building an entire AI world, a complete ecosystem from top to bottom. Over the next few minutes, we're going to trace this strategy all the way from the raw silicon chips humming away in a data center to the actual apps you'll be using on your phone. It is a wildly ambitious plan. All right, let's get into it, starting at the very foundation. Every digital empire, and I mean every single one, needs a physical base. For AI, that base is raw, brute force processing power. We're talking about the silicon chips that do all the thinking. And this is where OpenAI is making some truly massive moves. To get why they're doing this, you first need to wrap your head around this number. $2.5 billion. That's how much cash OpenAI is expected to burn through in just the first half of 2025. Almost all of that is going towards the insane amount of computing power their models need, and that power is incredibly expensive. So to get a handle on those costs and make sure they don't hit a wall later, they're making a huge strategic pivot. Before, like pretty much everyone else, they were super dependent on just one company for their best chips, NVIDIA. But now, they've just signed a gigantic deal with AMD to spread their bets and lock in the chips they need for years. And just so we're clear, this isn't some tiny little side deal. We are talking about an agreement worth tens of billions of dollars a year for AMD. That's a colossal investment in the absolute bedrock of their future. And you bet the rest of the tech world is paying attention. One analyst even called this a rare event that could reshape chip supply chains. So the real story here isn't just that OpenAI is getting more computers. No, this is a strategic power play that could change who holds the cards in the entire AI hardware game. Okay, so OpenAI is locking down its foundation with a mountain of new chips. But what are they going to run on all that shiny new hardware? And that brings us to the next layer up, the engine room of their whole strategy. This is where we meet the AI agents. So what in the world is an AI agent? Let's cut through the jargon. Think of it like this. It's an AI that doesn't just talk to you. It can actually do things for you. It's an autonomous program that can look at a situation, understand a goal, and then take action to get it done. It's less of a chatbot and more of an assistant you can delegate real tasks to. And to make these agents a reality for everyone, not just their own engineers, OpenAI just launched something called AgentKit. It's basically a toolkit designed to make it way, way easier for any developer to build and launch their own powerful AI agents using OpenAI's tech. And this strategy is honestly brilliant. They're taking what has been a super complicated, nerdy process and boiling it down into 4 straightforward steps. You build the logic, you add the safety rules, you plug in your data, and you hit deploy. This is exactly how they plan to take AI agents from being a cool science experiment to a must-have tool for businesses everywhere. So we've got the silicon foundation, and we've got the engine for developers. But how does any of this actually show up in our lives? For you and me? Well, that brings us to the storefront of the OpenAI empire, their big push into personal consumer AI. And the timing for this could not be better, because the market for personal AI is just exploding. I mean, check out this forecast from Adobe. For the 2025 holiday season, they are predicting a 520% jump in AI-assisted shopping. No, that is not a typo. People are more than ready to let AI help them find deals, compare products, and make decisions. This creates an absolutely massive opportunity. So the question becomes, how does a company like OpenAI, which is known for its powerful but kind of abstract AI models, get a piece of this very personal, very consumer-focused pie? Their answer was something called an acqui-hire. They bought a personal finance app called Roy. But here's the crazy part. They're shutting the app down. See, they didn't want the product. They wanted the people who built it. Specifically the CEO and his team, because these guys are experts at building consumer apps that people are actually willing to pay for. The goal here is crystal clear. And this move just slots perfectly into the grand vision that CEO Sam Altman keeps talking about. He sees the future of AI as adaptive, deeply personal companions. You know, AI that's woven into our daily lives, helping us with our finances and our decisions.
But there's one more layer to this whole empire, a final frontier that's proving to be the hardest one to conquer. And that's hardware. Because going from the clean digital world of software to the messy physical world of actual objects, well, that's a whole different ballgame. And this is where the speed of innovation just hits a brick wall. With software, you can move at the speed of light. OpenAI launched AgentKit, and boom, developers were using it the next day. Hardware, it's a completely different beast. You're talking complex supply chains, manufacturing headaches, and just the laws of physics getting in your way.
And that's exactly the problem they're reportedly facing. That really ambitious project to build a new kind of screenless AI gadget with the legendary Apple designer Johnny Ive. Well, the word on the street is that it's hitting some serious technical problems and delays. It's a powerful reminder that hardware is, well, it's hard. Okay, let's zoom out and look at the whole picture we just assembled. When you connect all these seemingly separate dots, the chip deals, the developer tools, the app acquisitions, and the hardware dreams, what do you actually get? What you get is a complete full-stack AI company. At the very bottom, you have the foundation, a secure supply of processing power. Driving everything is the engine, the AgentKit platform for developers to build on. Up top, you have the storefront, their push into personal apps to bring that power directly to us. And finally, you have the frontier, their ambitious, risky bet on hardware. They are systematically building out every single layer of the stack. So, there you have it. This isn't just a company releasing cool new products. We are watching the methodical construction of an AI empire from the ground up. One company trying to control the entire stack from the silicon all the way to the device in your hand. And that leaves us with one heck of a question. As this stack gets closer and closer to being complete, what happens next?